श्रीराघवं दशरथात्मजम् अप्रमेयम् सीतापतिं रघुकुलान्वयरत्नदीपम् आजानुबाहुम् अरविन्ददलायताक्षम् रामं निशाचर विनाशकरं नमामि. So everyone, welcome to Yuddha Kanda. Yuddha Kanda has 128 chapters. Sage Valmiki's Stuti Kujantam Rama Ramiti Maduram Maduraksharam Aruhya Kavita Shakam Vande Kokilam Valmiki Kavita Manacharinaha Shunvan Rama Katanadam Konayati Parangatim Yap Ibn Satatam Rama Charita Marata Sagaram Utraptastam Munim Vande Prachetas Makal Masham वैदेही सहितं सुरद्रुमतले हैमे महामण्डपे मध्ये पुष्पकमासने मणिमये वीरासने सुस्थितम् अग्रे वाचयति प्रपञ्चनसुते तत्त्वं मुनिव्यपरं व्याख्यान्तं भरतादिभिः परिवृतं रामं भजे श्यामलम्. Should always be very grateful for every single opportunity we get to listen to Valmiki Ramayana and to recite Valmiki Ramayana. So, yesterday we went through good advice and bad advice, as well as Vibhishana Sharanagati. We were not able to complete topic number 3, but today we shall do that. So we have seen the Lord being very grateful to Hanuman for finding Mother SIta, and for that he gives Hanuman a clasp. He embraces Hanuman, and this is the greatest gift that Hanuman ever wanted, and that's what he got. Then we saw Hanuman describe the fortifications of Lanka, and they're all marching on Uttara Falguni Nakshatra, and they're all encamped on the ocean's shore. At this time, the ministers of Ravana are very busy fanning his ego for their own nefarious purposes. They're busy fanning his ego, and they are saying that, oh, it doesn't matter, Ravana is very powerful, Rama and Lakshmana are just two puny little mortals, and and we shouldn't really be worried about them whatsoever. Vibhishana is the only person who is against fighting with Lord Rama, and he says the whole fight can be avoided if only you were to return Sita Ma to Lord Rama. So this is what is good for us. He tries again. He shows that there are so many bad omens that are occurring in Ravana's kingdom, because Sita Ma is not happy over here. She's not happy, and that's the reason why bad omens are coming in. And Kumbhakarna is also saying that what Ravana has done is wrong, but then he says that he's capable of destroying Rama and Lakshmana and the others. And Vibhishana is stating that it's the ministers are always supposed to take a look at the good and bad qualities of the king. And Indrajit is stating that Vibhishana is a coward, and Vibhishana is like, you are just an inexperienced boy. You don't really know what you're talking about. And he talks about the greatness of Lord Rama's arrow. We see that Vibhishana's words have got no impact on Ravana at all, except to make him even angrier than what he actually is in. And he says, just get out of my kingdom. He just says, you just get out. And Vibhishana, he immediately leaves Lanka, and he reaches the camp of Lord Rama, and Sugriva informs Lord Rama that Vibhishana is in here, and everyone is against getting Vibhishana into the fold except for Hanuman. And he says that Vibhishana is perfectly right according to the time, place, and circumstances. So we should not really judge him. And he also gives physiological proofs that whatever Vibhishana is saying, his voice, his everything is very serene. So we should just go for it. And Lord Rama gives his promise that he's not going to abandon someone who seeks his shelter. And Lord Rama, seeing that Sugriva is very worried about him, he says that he says that you don't really have to worry. I'm more than capable of destroying everyone, so you don't really have to worry at all. And he gives shastric evidence as to why it is necessary to give shelter. And we also saw Lord Rama Sharanagati verse, Sakrit eva prapannaya tava asmi iti chayachati abhim sarvabhutebhyo dadami etad vratam mama. And Sugriva is now for Vibhishan. He wants Vibhishana to be part of the fold. And Vibhishana comes in. He's very happy. He brings his 4 counselors as well. And he is very humble. And Lord Rama asks him for the first service, and that is to describe the strength of the Rakshasas, which he does. And the next one is how to cross the ocean. And Vibhishana says it's best that we ask the ocean itself. And in the meanwhile, he crowns Vibhishana the king of Lanka even before Ravana is destroyed. That means that Rama has already destroyed Ravana right away. And we also saw the difference. Sugriva came to the Lord stating that he wanted a kingdom, and the Lord gave it to him. Vibhishana did not come with any expectation whatsoever. So Vibhishana is an example of a Nishkama Bhakta. He did not come with any expectations of anything in return. He just wanted to give everything to Lord Rama, and that was it. But still, because Lord Rama had asked him to become the king, so he accepts that kingdom. So we are going to start today with Shuka, the bird spy. So there are multiple examples of Ravana sending many spies to infiltrate Lord Rama's army and figure out what is happening. So there is one particular spy by the name of Shardula. He's going to come back another time. So Shardul, he sees this vast Vanara army, and he goes to Ravana and says that the army is really vast. So what should we do? So it's best that we should try Samdan and Bhed, because it's not possible to just punish them because they are extremely powerful. So Ravana asked for Shuka, one of his very intelligent spies, and he says that you try to sweet talk Sugriva into leaving Rama and join with Ravana. You try to do that, because if Sugriva were to forsake Rama, then the entire Vanara army is going to be on Ravana's side. And so Rama is obviously going to be on the weaker side. So this is what foolish Rakshasas think, that that the Lord is counting on tiny little jivatmas to help him. No, the Lord is providing the opportunities to serve him. It's not that the Lord needs help, because he is Swarat, he is independent. And so he says, what is he going to achieve by fighting Ravana? See, if the king of Rakshasas has carried away Sita, then why should the king of Vanaras be offended by it? How is Sugriva affected by Sita's kidnap? And what does he stand to gain by being the enemy of Ravana? Instead, by being the friend of Ravana, he's going to have a lot of pleasure. So as well as it also talks about the impossibility of accessing Lanka. So even the devatas are not capable of coming in. So what can few vanaras and humans do? So Shuka takes the form of a bird. He crosses the ocean and he sends this message to Sugriva. The monkeys are, they understand that he is just trying to do the bait, the political dissension. He's trying to sow political dissension. So they jump up the sky. So Shuka was still on the sky, and uh, they jump up, they hit him, and they break his bones. And Shuka falls down from the sky. And while this was happening, Shuka asks Lord Rama, to spare his life. Lord Rama obviously does. He says, no, 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 don't do anything. And then Shuka once again rises up in the air and he says, Sugriva will just consider Ravana's message. Then Sugriva says, not only in this life, but in every single life, Ravana is my enemy because he is the enemy of my best friend, Rama. Ravana is never going to be my friend. And all of my Vanaras are so enthusiastic and so eager to destroy Ravana in battle. And because he's opposing Lord Rama himself, the Supreme Lord Rama himself, Devas, Danavas, Gandharvas, Pishachas, Asuras, Yakshas, Nagas, Kinnaras, nobody is capable of protecting him. Nobody can do anything because when someone opposes Rama, as Hanuman said, it is not heard of a person living happily after going against Lord Rama. And it says, Rama is very powerful. And then Angada says that Shuka is actually not a messenger. He's actually a spy. And because he's a spy, we should go ahead and kill him. Then Shuka once again tells Rama that the monkeys have already broken his wings, and if he dies at their hands, then all of his sins will go to Lord Rama. So Rama has already explained Sage Kanva's son, Sage Kandu's point that if a suppliant takes the shelter of someone, of a powerful person, and he dies while he's taken the shelter of this person, then all the sins of the suppliant go to the main person. And therefore Shuka reminds Lord Rama of this, and Rama says, just let Shuka go, it's fine. So the monkeys leave Shuka at the shore. Then now we are going to enter the Setu Bandhan pastime. This is very important. By the way, the picture that I've put in there is that of Tirupullani. Tirupullani is one of the Divi Deshams, and this is the spot where Lord Rama um, uh, prayed to the ocean by lying on his right arm. And he faces east and he lies on his beautiful right arm. And the beauty of, and so I didn't get a picture. I actually got the actual deity photo of Lord Rama lying down on the bed, on the ocean banks, on his right hand, and he's praying to the ocean. So this is a place called Tirupullani. You can Google it later on. It's obviously in South India. It's very close to Rameshwaram. You can obviously Google it. So he faces east. So Rama spreads out some kusha grass, faces east, and he lies down on his right hand. So the beauty of that right arm is also given in Valmiki Ramayana. So the arm was decorated with countless jewels and ornaments. the arm that was previously smeared with sandalwood paste and aloe and beautiful fragrant pastes, the hand that was residing on very beautiful beds, the hand that looked like the huge serpent Takshaka, the hand that was the terror of his foes, the hand that is the protector of his friends, the hand that has distributed multiple cows, that on that particular hand, Rama slept. So when we say Ajanu Bahum Aravinda Dalayatakshem, so when you just say Ajanu Bahum, we shouldn't just think about a hand. It is not as simple as that. We have to think about what were the decorations, who decorated them, who put the sandalwood paste and everything on the Lord's hand. When the Lord slept on his couch on his bed in the palaces of Ayodhya, how did he keep his hand? That hand that's so powerful that the enemies are terrified of it. But all of his bhaktas loved that very hand. Through that hand, he has distributed, he has done lots of Godan. That is the hand on which he is lying. So we shouldn't just say, oh, Lord Rama is lying on his hand. No. What is the description of that hand? See, even one part of the Lord, the arm is just one part of the Lord's physical form. And even that part, one part, has a huge description. So, once again, Valmiki is emphasizing that the Lord is a person who has a form, and through every single limb, he performs different activities because that is the Lord. Of course, we know that the Lord can eat with his eyes, he can smell through his ears, he can do everything. So, Angani yasya saklendriya vrittimanti. So, each and every part of his body can do the functions of the other. So, he can technically walk with his eyes. So, how does he eat with his eyes? When we offer bhoga, he eats, he looks at the plate and he eats with his eyes. And so that's what the Lord does, that every single day. He's eating with his eyes. And so it's a practical example of the Lord's limbs interchanging their functions. For us, we cannot really do that because we are very finite beings, but the Lord can do a lot of things. So the hand is doing multiple amazing things, and all of those are noted down in here. So the Lord spends 3 days and 3 nights seeking the favor of the Ocean King, but the ocean does not budge at all. After that, the Lord is angry with the ocean. He turns to Lakshmana and said, the ocean has chosen not to come. People think that being soft-spoken is actually a sign of incompetence or lack of strength or a lack of skill. But that is not the case. So because the ocean is thinking like this, I'm going to fire up my arrows and I will slay the monsters. I'm going to make sure that the entire ocean is completely dried up. There is not a drop of water in here anymore. And on that seabed, on that ocean bed, my entire army is going to walk to Lanka. So he says, Lakshmana, bring my bow along with my serpent-like arrows. Lakshmana runs, he brings his bow and the dreaded arrows as well. Says, By my wish, the ocean is going to be dry. 60,000 sons of King Sagara dug out this ocean. So each son dug one yojana. So one square yojana. So that means that there are 60,000 yojanas of ocean on this planet area, as far as the area is concerned. So they took some time to dig out that ocean, but the descendants of King Sagara, is going to dry up the entire ocean within a single second. He's going to dry it up. Then the monkeys will walk on the dry ocean bed. So when Rama grasps his bow, he rolls his eyes, and he is blazing like Kalagni, like the fire of dissolution. He bends his bow, draws the string to his ear, and then he begins to release arrows as powerful as Indra's Vajra. So the universe is trembling with fear, and the arrows enter the ocean depths, and the ocean monsters are all filled with fear. Lots of storm begins to blow, and then the water, it throws up plenty of corals and conches and gems and all that on the shore. The ocean is overflowing on all sides. Asuras, Danavas, everyone is afflicted. Rama is hissing with wrath, and he bends his bow to discharge more deadly weapons. Then Lakshmana and Brahma Rishi say, Rama, this is not who you are. Please, 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 do not discharge the arrow. That time he says, I'm going to use my Brahma Danda, and I'm going to dry up the entire ocean. Skies and the earth are exploding. Mountains are quaking. Sun's rays are feeble, because when Rama is using the Brahmadanda, even the Surya's power is all gone. Winds are blowing here and there. Clouds are hiding. The arrows cause the billows of the ocean to rise and swell. So they're rising and swelling. And then from the depths of the ocean arises the guardian deity, the ocean's personified form. He comes out, and he is almost like sun emerging from behind Mount Meru. He is very beautifully decorated with jewels of gold, and he says, my dear Rama, there are panchabhutas, there are 5 elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. So all of us have been given a particular, all of us have been given certain rules, certain rules of state. So like certain intrinsic dharmas are there for all five of us. If you want to change things, it is completely up to you. But we are not allowed to change. We are not allowed to change things. So, I can serve you only within the limits of my power. I can do that only within the limits of my power. So, water is not going to just it's not going to just recede on just one narrow little path and say that, okay, it's not part of the properties of water is going to flow. But what you can do, my dear Rama, you can build a bridge on top of the waves, and I assure you that no part of it is going to be swallowed by the waters. I assure you. Then Rama says, I have this Brahmastra. I'm not going to put it against you because you have taken my shelter. Can you please tell me on whom should I direct this Brahmadanda? The ocean says that there is a place called Drumkulya. Drumkulya, there are very dangerous robbers under the guidance of Abhiras, and they misuse my waters. Can you please throw the Brahmastra at them, destroy them? And says, Rama says, Tathastu, and he shoots the arrow in that direction, and it becomes a desert by the name of Marukantara. And then there is even little tender grasses there. There are lots of medicinal herbs, etc. And then the ocean says, Nala is the son of Vishwakarma, who is the celestial architect. So he knows Shilp Kala. Shilp Kala means architecture. So he is known for his architecture as well. He is the one who can build the bridge for you. So the ocean circumambulates Lord Rama, and then he disappears. Nala, Lord Rama looks at Nala. Nala says, I'm happy to build a bridge, my dear Lord. Now, thousands of monkeys uproot trees, mountains, huge boulders. They drag them to the shore. And then they throw all of this in the ocean. They use ropes. And when they do that, the ocean rises up to the sky. So this is showing Archimedes' principle of water displacement. So you throw something, the water is going to rise up. So the water is being displaced. So if the ocean has to rise till the skies, so imagine what should be the volume of the stuff that is being thrown inside the ocean. So obviously it is very, very large boulders, large ocean, large mountain peaks and trees. All of those are put in there. And so this fills up the bed of the ocean. Not the whole area, but just the distance that they wanted covered. All of that is covered. And then they're using ropes to ensure that the bridge is 100 yojanas in length and is laid straight across the sea. It should be straight. Some use rods, some supervise, some ensure that the bridge is smooth and even. Then there are waves that are drowning the splash of the fallen blocks and crashing down of the mountain peaks. On the first day, they do 14 yojanas long, 10 yojanas wide. On the second day, they do 20 yojanas long and 10 and 10 yojanas wide. The third day is 21 and 10. Fourth day is 22 and 10. Fifth day is 23 and 10. Therefore, the world's most impossible bridge was built by the Vanaras in just 5 days. Just 5 days. I also want everyone to pay attention to this. So you can see that, first day it was 14, second day is 20, third day is 21, fourth day is 22, fifth day is 23. So that means that every single day they're doing more and more and more and more. So usually for neophytes or novice bhaktas, they'll be very enthusiastic on the first day. Enthusiasm will recede on the second day. On the third day, it'll recede even more. By the fifth day comes, the enthusiasm is all gone. It's gone. But pure bhaktas are enthusiastic every single day. They're not tired. They want to do more and more for the Lord. So I want everyone to pay attention to this, to do more and more for the Lord. So it's actually a good idea. We can, I'm not asking people to measure up against someone else, just try to measure up against yourself. So if you have a little diary or something, just make a note of what we did on day one, what services we did on day one. Let's see what we did on day two and day three and day four. And let's see if they are progressively increasing. If they are at least the same and better, if they're increasing, then we are going on the right path. If it is not, if they are progressively decreasing, then that means that it's a very good way for us to judge ourselves and say, aha, I am not doing a good job right now. I am not doing all that I can do in the service of the Lord. I am not doing it. And it's a good way for us to measure ourselves, our own behavior, and see how we can correct ourselves. This is a very good homework that I'd like to do. I don't do it every day myself, but occasionally I do get into this mood, and I do it, and it helps me get back on track. It really helps me get back on track. Devas, Gandharvas, everyone looks at it with wonder. Nobody else could have built this. The monkeys are overjoyed. Some leap, some run, some dance, they roar, they swim as they cross the ocean. Lord Rama is carried by Hanuman, Lakshmana is carried by Angada, and they finally reach Lanka. The celestials are happy and they praise Rama. So before we go on to the next part of the Lord's pastimes, the Setubandhan pastime has got multiple sub stories that are not mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana. And this chapter, incidentally, the 22nd chapter of Valmiki Ramayana, Yuddha Kanda, is a very small chapter which covers the Setubandhan pastime. And somehow or the other, there are so many misconceptions. There are so many side stories associated with this. And to the best of my recollection, I have collected all of these little stories. And let's just go through them so that we have a clear understanding as to whether they are bona fide or they are not bona fide, because they are not mentioned either in Valmiki Ramayana or in any other Puranas. So Valmiki Ramayana does not say that the bridge was floating, by the way. In Valmiki Ramayana, it's as if the entire ocean bed was filled up for that 10 yojanas wide and 100 yojanas in length. It's all filled up. And so on top of that, so they had a very clear base. So on top of that, they made things smooth and everything, and that was the bridge. That's not to say that this is not bona fide. It's definitely mentioned in by acharyas in for other scriptures, but in Valmiki Ramayana's time, the bridge did not float. It was built like a proper, like a almost like a dam sort of a thing. You know, everything was. It was the ocean bed was filled up, and then they just walked over it. So now there are many pictures wherein we see that Vanaras or Hanuman or someone wrote Rama, Rama, Rama on every single stone, and then they placed it. But it looks very silly because everyone had to step on the name Rama. So would the Vanaras step on the holy name of the Lord? How would they do that? So there is no authentic scripture that has ever said that the Vanaras or anybody wrote name Rama, Rama, Rama on every single stone, and they placed it on the ocean. The next one is a very common misconception that the entire bridge was made only out of rock, but that is not true. As we saw that there were multiple types of trees, there were boulders, mountain peaks, ropes, other materials that, and it's not just the rock. So there was one story wherein a person gave one complete lecture based on this supposed event that apparently Lord Rama took one stone and he cast it in the ocean, but when he did it, it sank. Whereas when Nal did it, it did not sink. Um, and so the entire premise of the lecture was that if Rama himself has cast away something, then how is that going to stay afloat? It's uh, this is ridiculous because for one, Rama doesn't cast away anyone. Everybody is welcome to come into his shelter. Everybody is welcome. So Rama doesn't cast anyone away. So this was, I heard that someone gave a lecture like this, and of course, it's there is no bona fide source to this. Regional versions have mentioned that Nal and Neel, both of them, built the bridge, but this is not correct because Neela is the son of Agni. Agni is not known for being the architect. Only Vishwakarma is known to be the architect. And Nala was the only person whom the ocean recommended has the Shilp Vidya, the architectural knowledge. Therefore, he is the one who built the bridge. So now, and by the way, this photo over here is the actual picture from NASA that shows that this bridge is existing even today, even though it is uh, even though it's not a complete bridge right now, but the bridge still exists. Okay, so now there is a very famous thing that squirrels helped build the bridge. Then some Vanara, or most likely Hanuman, said that we are huge. We are huge creatures. What can you? You are so tiny. You cannot do anything. You cannot carry very heavy boulders or anything. You're not helping us out at all. And someone supposedly threw that squirrel away. So Rama saw the squirrel was hurt, and so he pet that squirrel. This is only partly correct. So Valmiki Ramayana does not talk about squirrels helping in the construction. There is one particular alvar called as Tondarapadi, Tondaridi Podi alvar. He has a divine composition called Tirumalai, and in Pasturam number 27, he has said, Kurangugal Malayai Nuka Kulittu Tam Puranditodi Taranga Neer Adekkal Uttra Shalam Ila Anilum Polin. So basically, Anilam over here is a squirrel. So basically, this Alvar is saying, Oh Lord Ranganatha, you give opportunities to the living entities to serve you. And because of that, you incarnated as Lord Rama, and you gave services even to animals. And that's why Vanaras were able to serve you by lifting huge boulders. But and even squirrels, they wanted to help you as well. So the squirrels, they swam in the ocean so that their bodies become wet, and then they rolled in the dust so that it attaches more dust on their body, and then they went to the bridge and they shook it off. So little tiny grains of grains of the sand um, filled in the gaps in that bridge. but alas, and then he says, Valiya Nenja Vanjanen Nenja Tannal. So he says that I haven't performed any service and I'm hard-hearted and I am deceitful, O Lord Ranganatha. Obviously, Alvars are all incarnations of the paraphernalia of the Lord. Like, for example, Goda Devi is the incarnation of Bhuma Devi. Then I believe that uh, one of the Alvars is the incarnation of Kaustubha jewel. He's a very great Rama Bhakta. Here, Kulishekara Alvar is the incarnation of Kaustubha jewel. I forgot what paraphernalia this particular Alvar is. I should have researched it before I give this class, but he's also one of the incarnations of one of the paraphernalia of the Lord. So whatever he says is correct. As far as squirrels serving the Lord is concerned, of course, he's a very pure bhakta. Pure bhakta doesn't think that they have done anything of anything meaningful for the Lord. They are always begging for more and more services. So the latter part is the Alvar's great humility. That is his, and that should not be misconstrued as his envy towards the Lord or something like that, so we do have a bona fide source that says that squirrels helped in building the bridge. So even if that source is not Valmiki Ramayana, there is a bona fide source. Now, the urban legend that Hanuman or one of the Vanaras insulted the squirrel and is later consoled by the Lord is not at all bona fide. Because all Vanaras, especially Hanuman, are great Vaishnavas. A great Vaishnava will never do Vaishnav Aparadh because Vaishnavas know that the Lord hates, absolutely hates Vaishnav Aparadh. He will tolerate any offense committed against him, but he cannot tolerate a single offense committed against one of his bhaktas. So Hanuman, being the great bhakta that he is, Hanuman being the great Vaishnava that he is, Hanuman being very learned in all the scriptures, Sarva Shastra Vidambara that he is, and not just Hanuman, who is an exemplary devotee, all the other Vanaras are also Vaishnavas. All of them. They would never insult another Vaishnava. And therefore, this story is wrong. The latter part of someone insulting the squirrel is wrong. Squirrels helped. Yes, we have a bona fide source, but no one insulted the squirrel. The source of this, I was able to trace it out to Ranganatha Ramayana. It's part of Telugu's regional version, and the other was Kritiva's Ojha. He's the same person who gave the very blasphemous statement of Lakshman Rekha. Very blasphemous. And these two versions contain this particular story. They are not bona fide. And the rule of thumb, general rule of thumb, is that the Lord will never execute pastimes wherein one devotee is praised at the expense of another devotee. He will never hurt one devotee's reputation so that another devotee is praised. Lord Rama will never do that. He will never do it. Insulting one or making sure that one bhakta commits Vaishnava Aparadh so that the other bhakta's Vaishnava qualities are elaborated. He would never do something like that. Rama doesn't have a mean streak in him. He would never do something like this. The next one is about Rameshwaram. Rameshwaram is not mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana. Shiva Purana mentions that Shiva Purana talks about the 12 different Jyotirling, and I believe that Rameshwaram is the 11th Jyotirling. And in Shiva Purana, it is mentioned that while the Vanaras were constructing the bridge for 5 days or whatever, while they were constructing the bridge, at that time, Lord Rama was worshipping Lord Shiva, and he built the Shivalinga over there. So this is bona fide because, for one, it is mentioned in a Purana, which is absolutely bona fide. Puranas are also just as bona fide as Valmiki Ramayana. It's just that I'm not sure whether they took place at the same time, the same Treta Yuga as Valmiki Ramayana. Because in Shiv Purana, there are a couple of other stories during the kidnap of Sita and all that, which are definitely not mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana. So it's quite likely that it is not in the same Treta Yuga, the same Chatru Yuga of Valmiki Ramayana. But that's not to say that it is not bona fide. Another is that we do have the temple called Rameshwaram. It's there. We know it is right in there. The temple is there. The linga is there. Everything is there. So there is a purpose. So now, why would the Supreme Lord pray to his bhakta? So let's go ahead and see the meaning of Rameshwaram. Ishvara means the controller. Lord Shiva is a controller in the material universe. He is a controller. He controls a lot of things. He is a very powerful being. Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, he's the exemplary Vaishnava as well. And he is an Ishvara. Even in Vishnu Sahasranam, when Mother Parvati asks, Kena Payena Lagnam Vishnur Nama Sahasrakam Pattide Pandidem Vishnu Shrotum Ichameham Prabho, it said, Ishvaro Uvacha Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Manorame Sahasranama Tatulyam Rama Nama Varanane. When Mother Parvati asked, Kena Payena Laghunam, is there a very tiny way to remember these 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu? So Ishvara Uvacha, over there, Ishvara is Lord Shiva. He says, Manorame, oh beautiful faced lady. Varanane, it's oh very beautiful lady, tender lady, sweet lady, enchanting lady, all of these. He says, Sri Rama Rama Ramiti Rame Rame Manorame Sahastra Nama Tatulyam Rama Nama Varanane. So one name of Rama is equivalent to 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu. So if it takes us about 30 minutes approximately to chant the entire Vishnu Sahasranam, by saying Rama, within 1 second, it's equivalent to chanting Vishnu Sahasranam for 30 minutes. So that's about it. So we do have Shastric evidence that says that Shiva is an Ishvara. The next one is Rama Ishvaro Yasya Sa Rameshwara. So the one whose Ishvara is Rama is Rameshwara. So Shiva is Vaishnava, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, and he is controlled by Rama. So Rama is the Ishvar, Rama is the controller, and Rameshwara is the person who is being controlled by Lord Rama. So technically, all of us should want to be Rameshwaras. We should all be in a position where we say, Rama, you are my Ishwar. I want you to treat me like a puppet. If you ask me to dance, I will dance. If you ask me to sing, I will sing. I will do whatever you want me to do. So therefore, it's talking about Lord Shiva wanting to be controlled by Lord Rama. The next meaning is Ramasya Ishvaro Yaha Sa Rameshwara. The one who can bind Rama is Rameshwara. The Lord loves to be known that he is Aham Bhakta Paradhino. I am subservient to my devotees. I am bound by my devotees. I am bound by my devotees. So Mother Yashoda could bind the Supreme Lord himself. She bound him. In a little while, we will see, for the sake of Garuda, Lord Rama agrees to be bound by Nagpash. He allows himself to be controlled by his devotees. So Dasharatha says, Rama, please come to my palace. Lord Rama runs to the chariot because his father has given him the summons. He runs to the chariot. So the Lord loves to be under the control of his bhaktas. He loves it. This is the Lord. So just because Lord Rama is praying to Lord Shiva, it doesn't mean that Shiva is the supreme. There are other bona fide scriptures that state who is the supreme and who is the bhakta. There are bona fide scriptures. So we cannot just take one particular thing in isolation and then say, you know what, Rama also prayed to Lord Shiva, so Shiva is the supreme. No. Imagine how Shiva would feel. Just imagine how Shiva would feel if someone were to say that you are supreme and he is only the servant of Lord Rama. Shiva himself has said, I am always, oh Parvati, I am always chanting the name of Rama, 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 Rama. In Kashi, people actually go to Kashi to die because they know that they will get moksha. So going to Kashi and dying and receiving moksha, you know why people get moksha when they go to Kashi and die? It is because Lord Shiva himself comes to that dying person, and at the very last breath of that person, he says, Rama, Rama. He says, Rama. So because a great guru, Lord Shiva is the head of the Rudra Sampradaya, a great Vaishnava, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, because that particular Shiva comes to a dying man or a dying person and says, Rama, Rama, that person thinks about Rama at the time of death, and that soul goes to Vaikuntha Loka. That soul goes to Vaikuntha Loka. So we have to remember that even if Lord Rama prayed to Lord Shiva, which is completely bona fide because this is mentioned in Shiva Purana, there is a reason. Lord Rama is always there to glorify his devotees. He will always glorify his devotees. And such a sweet bond that Lord Shiva and Lord Rama have, and we shouldn't negate it. We shouldn't criticize it. We are nobody to do that. The bond between Shiva and Rama is beautiful, and we need to praise it, and that's exactly what we should do. So much is bona fide. Now let's go on to the urban legend. So now there is one urban legend that the priests that officiated the Rameshwaram, there was nobody qualified around that place. And so Lord Rama asked Ravana himself to come over there Ravana said that there is some mistake in what you're doing, and that is you should always worship with your wife. And therefore, Sita Ma was brought over there. They conducted the prayers together, and then Sita went back to Ashok Vatika. This is just this. This is just one of those things, it really irks me that people would just go ahead and concoct such wrong things just because in the stage of Kali Yuga, we're all hypocrites, and in this hypocritical age, people just want to glorify Ravana and they want to vilify Rama. Rama was a supreme lord. There is no mistake that he has ever done. Ravana was not a good person. He was not at all a good person. He was a rapist. He kidnapped women. He tortured sages. He tortured Mother Sita Ma. He conducts multiple psychological warfare on Sita Ma. He was cruel, absolutely cruel. He kicked out his own brother. He is not a good person. Absolutely not. And this type of stories have been concocted by people who want to glorify Ravana. So let them go ahead and glorify a Rakshasa. It's fine. But we should not go ahead and do like this. We shouldn't think that there is even the remotest possibility of something as absurd as this has ever happened. There is no bona fide source to this. And why should Ravana, we should just ask, we should just think about it with some common sense. The Lord has given us common sense. Let's just use it. Why would Ravana be considered a great priest? Just because he studied Vedas? No. The goal of the Vedas is to know who the Supreme Lord is. Vedescha sarved aham eva vedyo. Aham. Who is that aham? It is Lord Krishna. Vedescha sarved aham eva vedyo. I am to be known through the Vedas. So, Veda Vedya Pare Pumsi Jati Dashratatmanje Vedaha Prachiti Sadasi Sakshat Ramayanatmanaha. When the goal of the Vedas incarnated as Lord Rama, as a beloved son of King Dashratha, then the Vedas incarnated as Valmiki Ramayana, when we have this one, when this particular Rama, Supreme Lord, stood in front of Ravana, he couldn't care less about it. He couldn't care less. He just said, you are just a puny mortal. As if the Supreme Lord is puny, as if the Supreme Lord is immortal, as if he goes through Janma Mriti Jara Vyadi, as if. So this person could not even recognize who the Supreme Lord is. So what was the whole point of studying Vedas? Vedescha sarved aham eva vedyo. The goal of the Vedas is me. That is what Krishna says. So the goal of the Vedas is Krishna, knowing who he is. Ravana doesn't know. So he is no Pandit. He is not at all a Pandit. He was a very foolish, cruel, sadistic person. And, just use common sense. Oh, Sita Ma just came in, and then how did she return? Okay, she said, okay, Rama, bye. I'll see you later on. And then she went out of war. So there is no logic to this. There is absolutely no logic. And it's why? Because it is fictitious. There is no bona fide truth to this. The only thing that is mentioned in Setu Bandhan in Valmiki Ramayana is this tiny little thing. So if anyone gives additional information about Setu Bandhan, use the brains that the Lord has given us and think whether it is possible or not. That's it. So I think I spend more time explaining the sub-stories of Setu Bandhan than the actual pastime that is mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana. Because there are so many misconceptions about Setu Bandhan. I want to take this opportunity to illuminate that many things are just urban legends and they're not true. Okay, so now we have completed the third topic. Now let's go on to the fourth one, the battle formation. So Lord Rama, he sees beautiful omens that describe his victory and the destruction of the Rakshasas. He sets out towards, so he has reached the island, he's reached the shores of the city of the island, but he has to go towards the city. So everyone put together, they're all going in there. They're very confident, and the monkeys are, they are so intent on fulfilling the Lord's wishes. So they jump, they roar, they take the tails and they wave it aloft, and then they dash it on the ground with joy. And then they set up camp, a nice, comfortable, lovely spot. When the Rakshasas are roaring, the monkeys, oh, you are roaring, let's hear our roars. And they roar even more. So this actually reminds me in Bhagavad Gita, when Kauravas began to blow the conch, it caused tumulo. It was very tumultuous. And then when Krishna and Arjuna began to blow the conch, the sound was transcendental. The sounds that came from the Kaurava side was completely drowned. Similarly, when the bhaktas are shouting, when the bhaktas are so unified in their mission to serve the Lord, what was that mission? What was the end goal? To see Sita and Rama together. This is the end goal. To see Rama and Sita, the Yugal Murti, the combined form, that was their goal. And because Ravana would not release Sita Ma, it was imperative to kill Ravana. It was imperative to kill him. When all the Vanaras were so focused on this one purpose, to see Rama and Sita together, that was their one intention, one concentrated effort. When they were like this, the sounds of the Rakshasas just completely quelled. It completely drowned. Because this is the power of unity amongst bhaktas. The power of unity amongst bhaktas. All of us have one mission. So why shouldn't we be united? Why should we let our personal egos come into being in here? Those are just false egos. So let's not put in false pride, false ego, but let us all be united. Let us be unified in our goal, and that is to please the Lord together. Let us all do it together. We should have that camaraderie. So we will see the count of the Vanara army. We will see that very soon. And all of them were unified. We don't have that many people on this universe, on this earth right now. We don't have that many people. And therefore, we should be more unified than what we are at the moment. So Lord Rama is looking at the city and he's saying, this is where my beloved Janaki is. And he is, with great effort, he's restraining his grief, and he's turning towards Lakshmana saying, this city is built by Vishwakarma. It is indeed very beautiful. And then Rama is arranging the army. So Angada and Nila are at the heart, Rishabha is on the right, Gandhamadana is on the left, Rama and Lakshmana are at the head. That means that they are the ones who are going to face a lot of the trouble. Jambavan, Sushena, Vegadarshi at the stomach, Sugriva at the tail. So therefore, this comes out to be Garud view. So we have Chakra view, we have Padma view, we have Makara view. There are so many different views. And in Valmiki Ramayana, Rama just sticks to Garud view. He just sticks to Garud view. And if you want to know more about the different types of view, we need to read Mahabharata. Especially Dronacharya, he is the military, when he was the commander-in-chief of the Kaurava army, he arranged in multiple types of views, and all the things that I spoke about right now, in a Padma view and this view and Makara view and all that, they come from Dronacharya actually. But in Valmiki Ramayana, Lord Rama did the Garud view. So now Rama says, Shuka should be just set free. Let us just let him just go. So apparently they brought Shuka from the shore to here, and now Rama is saying, let him just go. It's okay. So he runs to Ravana and he says that, what, this is what has happened. Now look at the greatness of Rama. Look at the greatness of the Vanaras. They built the bridge within just 5 days. They were able to build the bridge. Now I'm telling you, you should also restore Sita to Rama. We would not be able to win the battle against Rama. If we don't do that, somehow or the other, we have to be prepared to fight. Now, obviously, Ravana does not really like Shuka's words. Anyone who says that return Sita to Rama and take Rama's shelter, he finds it as if it is like lead being poured into his ears, molten lead being poured into his ears. He hates it. Why? Because he wants to own something that belongs to Rama. He wants to possess something that is Rama's. This is the meaning of envy towards the Lord. So when a person is envious towards the Lord, we think, why should the Lord get this? Why not me? So let me take this away from the Lord so that he won't get to enjoy, and I will. But how is it possible? Just as our Bharata said, I am a slave, this kingdom is a slave. How can one slave own the other? I cannot own something that doesn't belong to me when I myself am just a slave. This is what Bharata said. And this is the thing that we need to employ. How do we own anything in here? This is all the Lord's opulence. We own nothing. We own nothing. And so to think that this is mine is absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. This is all belonging to the Lord. So because, say, this house belongs to the Lord, it is my responsibility to keep it clean. It is my responsibility. This belongs to the Lord. I have to keep it clean. I'm the servant. So I need to keep the Lord's house clean. For example. Okay, so Ravana doesn't like people telling him to return Sita Ma because of the envy that he had towards the Lord. Sita Ma is Rama's property. But Ravana wanted the Lord's property to be his. And that is not correct. So because of that envy, because of that insane envy towards Lord Rama, he hates anything. He hates anyone, any statement to the effect of giving Sita Ma back to Lord Rama. He hates it. And then he says, I'm not going to do that. Let all the created beings band together. They can still not free Sita from my clutches. Rama doesn't know how powerful I am. I'm so powerful that even the Dikpalas, like Indra, Varuna, Yama, and Kubera, even the Dikpalas could not do anything to me. I have conquered them already. He is just a human. He is just a puny mortal. So what can this tiny little being do against me? And then he turns to two ministers, Shuka and Sarana. My book, my Valmiki Ramayana book, says that this is Shuka of a different name, because the other Shuka, the other bird, a spy, he was already bruised and beaten and all that, and he has already annoyed Ravana. By the way, he has already annoyed him. So this is another spy by the name of Shuka. So Shuka and Sarana together says, okay, you go to the Vanaras, disguise yourself as Vanaras, and then figure out what's the strength of everyone. So they do that. They mingle within the army, but Vibhishna has a mantra by which he is able to see through. He can see through another asura's deceitful forms, or illusory forms. Later on, we will see that he chants this mantra and sprinkles it on Sugriva's eyes. Uh, we will see that later on in Yuddha Kanda, but at least for now, let's just say that Vibhishna, recognizes Shuk and Saran. They are definitely part of Ravana's gang, and Vibhishna was in Ravana's inner circle, so obviously he knows them and says, "Okay, let's go to Rama." The Rakshasas are very afraid, and they clasp in prayer. So when Hanuman was taken to Ravana, Ravana wanted to kill him. Hanuman did not quake. He did not clasp his hands in fear. He did not do anything. He was abhayam. He already had abhayam. He was completely fearless. And Ravana wanted to kill him. These two Rakshasas, quaking with fear, they clasped their hands in front of the mighty Rama. And Rama says, let them go. It's fine. And he doesn't stop over there. He says, if you want to know something more, just ask. I hope you have found out everything that you want to know. But if there is still a little bit of reconnaissance mission remaining from your list of things that you wanted to figure out about my army, go ahead and ask. If you haven't seen everything, Vibhishna will show you every single thing that you want to see. You don't have to fear your lives. You go back to Ravana and you tell him everything you saw over here. It doesn't matter. Because Rama appreciates beauty. So he knows that Shuk and Saran are fulfilling the duties of a spy. Even a spy's duty, Rama doesn't say, you shouldn't, my spies are great, but your spies are not correct. No. If this is what Ravana wants, Ravana has asked Shuk and Saran to investigate Rama's army. They were caught. And Rama says, you go and tell them everything. It's fine. It's absolutely okay. And he says, please pass on one message from me. The deceitful strength that Ravana displayed by taking away Sita when Rama and Lakshmana were not on the scene, when they were not in the hermitage, how that strength, that deceitful strength that Ravana displayed to kidnap Sita Ma, now that strength he has to show in the battlefield. And tomorrow in the morning, I'm going to destroy the city. Rama gives this proclamation. When we are very dharmic, we are completely unbiased. When we are very dharmic. So Rama doesn't say, why should I let go of this? So technically, political science just says that we shouldn't kill ambassadors. They did not come as ambassadors. They came as spies. As spies, Rama could have killed them. But no, he says, you fulfilled your duty. So it's okay. It's fine. As well as he has already mentioned Anguli Agrena, he is capable of killing all the yakshas, danavas, pishachas, and rakshasas in this entire world. He's already capable of killing them. So just because Ravana has some knowledge about some battle formation or something like that, it's not going to make any ounce of a difference to Lord Rama. It's not going to make anything. Rama is still going to win. He's so confident that he's going to do that. Shuk and Saran, they are amazed by the tranquility of Lord Rama, by his nobility, because not all foes, not all enemies are this noble. And Rama doesn't say, my ambassador was treated very badly in your king's court, so now I'm going to retaliate by treating you guys very badly. No, he doesn't do that either. Even though he absolutely loves Hanuman, we have already seen it, he doesn't behave in a very treacherous way towards anyone. Rama is very noble. As well as Hanuman's wounds, what wounds? Completely nullified by the celestial touch. See, when Lord Vishnu placed the conch on the head of Dhruva, the 5-year-old boy was able to give beautiful Sanskrit shlokas in the praise of Lord Narayana. Just the conch, he just tapped him with the conch, and the little boy, a tiny little boy, gave beautiful prayers. Rama gave himself to Hanuman. So, do you think that he would still have any pain left? Nah, he doesn't have anything. Nothing anymore. So, Hanuman is full, Hanuman is complete, Hanuman has already been taken care of, and destroying the ambassador, destroying the spies are not correct, are not the right thing to do, not the right way to retaliate. The retaliation should be to kill the person who wanted to kill Hanuman, and that's exactly what he does later on. So very noble. So now Shuk and Saran, they return to Rama, they return to Ravana, they bow down to Rama, and they return to Ravana, and they say, Rama saved them from certain death. Rama, Lakshmana, Vibhishana, and Sugriva, these four are like the four Dikpalas and the masters of every weapon. So it's a very common misconception that Vibhishana did not participate in the war by like fighting and all that, but that's not true. Vibhishana uses the mace. He does fight in the war as well, even though it's not particularly mentioned that he fought against a particular Rakshasa and killed this Rakshasa. That's not mentioned, but he does fight. He does fight. He's like part of the army. He fights for the Lord. And the monkeys are very thrilled that they get to fight the Rakshasas, and now the best thing is to return Sita to Lord Rama. Ravana is like, how did he turn to be such cowards? Never am I going to restore Sita to Rama. And then they go to the lofty terrace of his palace, and the base of Mount Rikuta is entirely hidden by monkeys because it's so vast, absolutely vast. Then he asked Sharan, go ahead and describe the strength of the Vanaras. So they describe Neela is strong like this, Angada is like this, Maruti, Nala, Shweta, Kumuda, Ramba, Sharaba, Panasa, Krodhana, Gava, Hara, Dhumra, Jambavan, Damba, Sanna, Danna, Pramathi, Gavaksha, Kesari, Shatabali, Mainda, Dvivida, and finally Hanuman once again. And he says, the one who is seated on Hanuman's shoulder is Rama, the one, and they sing his glories. He is Dharmatma, his knowledge, his prowess, his mastery of weapons, unparalleled. Unparalleled. And then they praise Lakshmana. By the way, this is the second place. Lakshmana's color is mentioned in only 2 places. This is the second place. The first place was Shupnaka. She tells that that Lakshmana is always on the left of Lord Rama. She says that. And he is golden color. So this is Shuddha Jambu, Nada Prabha. So he's shining like Shuddha Jambu. Jambu means gold. So color of pure gold. Now Vibhishna is on the other side of Rama, and he has already been declared Lankesh, the king of Lanka. Sugriva is standing close by, and he is the king of Vanaras. So now this is the count of Lord Rama's army. So 10 to the power of 5, this is 1 lakh. 10 to the power of 7 is 1 koti. 100,000 kotis equals to 1 shanku. 100,000 shankus is equal to 1 mahashanku. 100,000 mahashankus is equal to 1 vrinda. 100,000 vrindas is equal to 1 mahavrinda. 100,000 mahavrindas is equal to 1 padma. 100,000 padmas is equal to 1 mahapadma. 100,000 mahapadmas is equal to 1 kharva. 100,000 kharvas is equal to 1 mahakharva. 100,000 mahakharvas is equal to 1 samudra. 100,000 samudras is equal to 1 ogha. 100,000 oghas is equal to 1 maha ogha. Okay, so this is the count. So the count in army, so this is what Saran says, that there are 10 to the power of 12 shankus, 1,000 mahashankus, 100 vrindas, 1,000 mahavrindas, 100 padmas, 1,000 mahapadmas, 100 kharvas, 100 samudras, 100 mahaogas, and 1 koti mahaoga. Oh, sorry. 1 koti mahaoga. So if we were to do shanku, we have 10 to the power of 12 shankus, then total count is 10 to the power of 12 plus 10 to the power of 12, that is 10 to the power of 12 times 10 to the power of 12, that is 10 to the power of 24. And totally, we get 10 to the power of 67 plus 10 to the power of 64. So more than 10 to the power of 67 monkeys serve Rama's army. So previously, there was one wrong translation that said 100,000 samudras is equal to 1 mahasamudra. So that's why when you take a look at that count, then that means that 1 mahaoga would be 10 to the power of 67. But while I was doing this one, I went through the original text, and it says that 100,000 samudras is equal to 1 ogha. It's not, there is no such term called mahasamudra. So that's why the number of, the total number of Vanaras in Lord Rama's army is actually 10 to the power of 67 plus 64 plus 54 plus 44 plus 40 plus 35 plus 30 plus 24 plus 20 plus 24. So this is it. And, we can just say more than 10 to the power of 67 monkeys served in Lord Rama's army. So question, how many Vanaras die in the battle? Ultimately die. Any answers? No answers? Okay, so let's just wait for it for the very end of Yuddha Kanda. Now, Ravana is a little taken aback. Even his army is not this big, so he's a little taken aback. And then he's very angry that Shuk and Saran are very busy praising Rama and Lakshmana. And then he says, get out, get out, get out, get out. Then he brings Shardul. Shardul, we saw Shardul a little while ago. And now he says, Shardul, you take spies and you go to Rama and you figure out more things, and then you come back. they enter Suvela. They disguise themselves as Vanaras. Vibhishana catches them again. He takes them to Lord Rama. Rama says, "It's okay, go." And the monkeys just drive them out. And Rama saves all the spies. They return to Ravana, and they say that Rama and Lakshmana have encamped on Mount Suvela, and Rama saved them from certain death. They also say, "Go ahead, give Sita Ma back to Lord Rama." But Ravana is extremely proud. What can two human beings do? Nothing. And therefore he says, go ahead and count the strength of all. So Shardula describes the divine lineage. Sugriva's father is Rikshrajasa, but he's actually the son of Surya. Jambavan and Dhumra Gadgada, Kesari, the son of Brihaspati, Hanuman is the son of Kesari and Vayu, Sushena is the son of Yama, Dadhimukha is the son of Soma, Sumaka, Durmukha, and Vegadarshi are sons of Brahma, Neel is the son of Agni, Angada is the grandson of Indra, Mind and Vivida are the sons of Ashwini twins, Gaj, Gavaksh, Gavai, Sharab, Gandhamadan are the sons of Yama, Shvet and Jyotirmukh. So I know that Yama, Sushena is also the son of Yama. I believe that these were, they were all born at the same time. Quintuplets, I think, is the term. Shveta and Jyotirmukh are the son of Bhaskara. Hemakut is the son of Varuna. Nala is the son of Vishwakarma. Durdhara is the son of Vasu. And Rama, who is a handsome one who protects all of them, is a slayer of great Rakshasas, and there is no one equivalent to him in valor and prowess. Lakshmana is the soul of righteousness. Shardula says that even Vibhishna is praying for Rama's welfare. Everybody is praying for Rama's welfare. Then, now, Ravana, this is one psychological warfare that Ravana plays. This is the first psychological warfare that Ravana plays on Mother Sita. So he asks for Vidyut Jiva. There is another Vidyut Jiva. Does anyone remember who he is? No? So there was one Vidyut Jiva who was the husband of Shupnaka. So this is another Vidyut Jiva, but that Vidyut Jiva was killed. Anyone knows who killed Vidyut Jiva? Shupnaka's husband? Okay, we'll go through that in Uttarakhand. It's fine. I cannot hide the suspense. It's Ravana himself who kills his own brother-in-law. Then, so this is the greatness of Ravana. He kills his own. He kills his own. Ravana sends for another Rakshasa by the name of Vidyut Jiva. Vidyut Jiva means it. I think the translation is Vidyut is almost like lightning. Jiva is tongue. So I think the tongue was, zigzagged or something like that. So that's why he is known as Vidyut Jiva. And he says, create an illusory likeness of Rama and his bow, and I can throw this illusion on Sita. Vidyut Jiva says, okay. Ravana goes off to Ashok Vatika. By the way, this is the first time we are seeing Sita Ma after Sundarakand. So till then, after Hanuman said goodbye to Mother Sita in, I think, 56th chapter of 56th chapter of Sundarakand, we didn't see Sita Ma after that at all. So right now she's still bowed down with grief, and then she says that she's like, Ravana is close by. She doesn't like it at all. Then Ravana tells Sita that the warriors who by luck, just by some luck, killed Kara, Dhushina, and others, has now been killed by Prahasta. Rama is dead. Nobody is going to save her anymore. He should be, so therefore she should become his wife. Vibhishna, Lakshmana, Sugriva, Hanuman, Jambavan, Mainda, Dvivida, Panasa, Dadimuka, Kumuda, all of them are defeated. Army is destroyed. And then he says, this is the head and bow of Rama, and he just flings them at Sita Ma. So look at the cruelty. He learned the names of few Vanara uh, chiefs through Shardula as well as through Shuk and Saran. And he is under the impression that Hanuman would have certainly mentioned a couple of names to Sita Ma. So he goes ahead and says, he just prattles out a couple of names. Then he says that they're all dead, just to make Sita believe that Prahasta actually won the war against Lord Rama. And this is so cruel, so utterly cruel. Vidyajiva brings the illusory head and bow of Lord Rama, places them in front of Sita, and Sita looks at the eyes, the complexion, the hair, the forehead. Everything looks exactly like Rama, and says, Kaikeyi must have known this. That's why she sent Rama off to the forest. Now, Lakshmana, Bharata, Shatrughna, all of their lives were centered around Rama, and now all of them are dead. They're also dead. And then Sita places the head of Rama on her head. She says, now I'm just lost in fathomless grief. How could Rama abandon me? Haven't I always followed in his footsteps? What will Kausalya say? And then then she says, Ravana, you kill me this instant. And then suddenly, one of the guards just comes out and says that something serious has happened. You have to come to you have to come inside immediately. So as soon as Ravana goes out, the illusory head and bow also disappear. And Sita is still lamenting over Lord Rama. And at that time, Sarma, who is Vibhishna's very wonderful wife, she consoles her and says, my dear Sita, it is not possible to slay Rama because Rama is a Mara. Rama. So please do not worry. The Vanaras are not ordinary people. Rama is the very embodiment of Dharma. His prowess is unequaled. He is the terror of his enemies. All your sorrows would come to an end. All the happinesses are going to be yours. You know why Ravana conducted this particular psychological warfare? It is because Rama and Lakshmana have already crossed the mighty ocean, and they have come here with the vast Vanara army, and all of his plans are going to succeed. So it's because is because Rama and Lakshmana have come here already. Ravana wants to marry you before the war commences, and that's the reason why he did this particular play. It is so mean of him, and right now Ravana has gone to take the council with his ministers. And then at that particular time, it was obvious to Sita Ma that she could hear the battle sounds coming from the Rakshasa camp, because obviously she's closer to the Rakshasa camp, right? So she could hear the battle cries from there. And Saruma says, Sita, the Rakshasas are getting ready to fight. And the goddess of victory is now waiting upon Sita. The goddess of victory is subservient to Sita. So the destruction of Rakshasas is imminent. And Sarma says, I'm longing for the day that you and Rama are going to be together. And I wish I could see the day that you will embrace Rama and you will shed tears of joy from your lotus face, and those tears of joy will fall on his chest. I am waiting for that day. And Rama will fulfill the wishes of all his friends, and the son of Dashratha will enjoy all happiness. Grief and trouble, they will all fall off. And because Rama is the giver of light and life to all beings. Look at how Sarma is sweetly um, consoling Sitama. And her greatest wish is to see Sita and Rama together. Sitama embracing Lord Rama and crying tears of joy on his chest. This is Sarma's greatest wish. She doesn't say that my greatest wish is to see to it that my husband is still alive after the war is over. No, greatest wish is to see Sita reunited with Rama. That is her greatest wish. This is why Valmiki has said that she is a very virtuous, a very dharmic wife, very wonderful person. So Sita is very she finds a great deal of comfort, and she says that and then Sarma says, I want to do a little bit more for you. If you want, I can go to Rama, tell him that you are safe, and then I can come back. Nobody would be able to match my speed. I can do that for you. But Sitama says, Sarma, I don't want you to take unnecessary risk. Can you please figure out what Ravana is doing right now? So you see, Sitama is not selfish either. What she wants is nothing more than anything else is a constant touch with Lord Rama. But she is also not selfish. She says, you don't take unnecessary risk, Sarma. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. And she says, just find out what Ravana is doing. So Sarma wipes out the tears and she finds out what Ravana was doing so far. He says that Kaikasi, Ravana's mother, and Avidha, Ravana's minister, counseled Ravana to take Sitama back to Lord Rama. They describe the powers of Rama and Hanuman, but Ravana's life is about to end, and therefore he is not willing to listen to anyone who says that Sita should be restored to Rama. However, because the goddess of victory is serving Sita at the moment, Rama is definitely going to send the Ravana out. He is going to kill Ravana and he will take Sitama with him to Ayodhya. And almost as if the celestials were listening to this, and they confirm Sarma's words. War drums were sounding, conch shells could be heard from Vanara's camp. The Rakshasas go confused, sad, dispirited, and they were thinking that they are going to lose everything. They're going to lose their happiness, their wealth, their fame, their lives for the sin of their king. They're going to lose it all. I just want to say, this is just a side note. Whenever we speak something, it's good to speak auspicious things. Because we should remember that celestials are always listening. There is someone who is always listening to what we're saying. So we shouldn't say bad things. So, for example, Sarma is saying good things, Sitama is going to be restored to Lord Rama. She's saying wonderful things, and it's like the heavens are confirming the words at that time. Now, we have already seen Kaikasi and Avidha confront Rama. We already know that Shuk and Saran and Shardul have all asked Ravana to return Sita Ma to Rama, but obviously it did not take place. And now we will see another great person. I'm so sorry. It's not Mayavan. It is Malyavan. I'm sorry. It's I made a typo over here. Let me just correct it. It should be Malyavan. There you go. So Ravana was listening to this same martial music coming from the Vanara camp, and he yells at his ministers. So Malyavan is the grandfather. Technically, Malyavan is not the grandfather. Technically, Malyavan's brother is the grandfather of Ravana, but he died. Sumali and Mali and Malyavan were three brothers. Sumali and Mali died. We will see how in Uttarakhand. And therefore, Malyavan is the person who showers Ravana with the affection of a grandfather, you know. So everywhere in here is just known as grandfather, but we will see it's actually great uncle. You know, that's who he is. Malyavan tells Ravana that the one who practices the rules of the Vedas has got long life and can rule all over the earth. When that strength wanes, it's good to seek alliance with the foes. And right now, Raghava's star is ascending and the Rakshasa star is descending. And therefore, this is the apt time. All we have to do is just give Sita back to Lord Rama. There is nothing else that we have to do. And the creator of this world created only two sides. One is Devatas, the other is Danavas. It's just dharmic and adharmic people. Dharmic people, the rishis, the Gandharvas, Devas, Nagas, Kinnas, everybody is praying for Rama's victory. And therefore, right now, make friends with him. Devatas are always dharmic, and they not always they are dharmic, and they will ultimately win. By kidnapping Sita Ma, by kidnapping the wives of others, Ravana has become adharmic. There are so many evil omens, and all of them indicate that the Rakshasas are going to die. And these omens are very similar to the omens that Vibhishna had mentioned. And that's the reason why I didn't put them in here again. But Ravana doesn't like what Malyavan has to say. He's very angry. He says, "You are not siding with me. You're siding with my enemy. You're not siding with me. You're siding with my enemy." And and you are envious of me. You are envious of me, and I will make sure that you get to see how I destroy Rama, Lakshmana, Sugriva, and the entire Vanara army. All they did was cross 100 yojanas of water. It is not a big deal, okay? It is totally not a big deal. So you don't have to think that they are just invincible or something like that. And he's just basically very rude to his grandpa. And Malyavan is very ashamed that his good advice meant nothing. So Ravana fixes the battle formation, and Rama, Sugriva, Hanuman, Jambavan, Dhumra, Vibhishana, Angada, Lakshmana, Sharaba, Sushena, Mainda, Dvivida, Gaja, Gavaksh, Kumada, Anala, Panasa. They're all entering the region of the enemies, and they take consultations as to what should be done. Then Vibhishna comes in and states that his ministers Anal, Pana, Sampati, and Pramati have found out the battle formation of Ravana. And based on that, Rama gives the counter orders. In the eastern gate, Ravana has kept Prahasta. So Rama says that Neel, Agni's son, Neel, is going to counter Prahasta. In the southern, we have Mahaparshva and Mahodar, and Rama says, Angada, you are going to attack them. In the western gate, we have Indrajit, and Rama says, only Hanuman can counter Indrajit. In northern, Shuk and Sarana are also there, but Ravana is the main person. Lord Rama says, in this gate, Rama and Lakshmana, the two of us are going to handle it. Ravana kept Virupaksh in the center, and Rama says he wants Sugriva, Jambavan, and Vibhishna between the northern and the western gates. So that is between Rama, Lakshmana, and Hanuman. Because Rama knows that Indrajit is the most powerful of the sons of Ravana, and therefore we've already known that Hanuman said that the northern gate is the most powerful. Rama knows that the western gate is the second. So to give ample support on these two fronts, he wants Sugriva, Jambavan, and Vibhishna to be floaters, to go between the Lordship and Hanuman, go between northern and western gate. By the way, I want everyone to pay very close attention to the fact that Hanuman is against Indrajit in the western gate. Hanuman is against Indrajit in the western gate. Lord Rama was the one who placed Hanuman over here. And during Indrajit Vadam, we will see that this placement was crucial for Lakshmana to kill Indrajit. I won't say how and why right now. When we go to Indrajit Vadam, we will see it. So Rama plans around 4 or 5 steps in advance. What 4 or 5 steps? He plans about 1,000 steps in advance that we cannot even perhaps think about. So this is the counter. Prahasta is against Neela, Mahaparsha and Mahodar are against Angada, Indrajit is against Hanuman, Ravana, Shuk and Sarana are against Rama and Lakshmana. Virupaksh is there, Sugriva, Jambavan and Vibhishna are floaters. And he says that he knows that all the Vanaras are also capable of changing their guise, but he says that the sign of the Vanara army is that only 7 people, so Rama, Lakshmana, Vibhishna, Anal, Panas, Sampati, and Pramati, only these 7 people would be in human form. All the monkeys will retain the original form. So this is the sign that they belong to Rama's army. Then Rama decides to camp in Mount Suvela. He marches towards it. He's assured of his success. And Sugriva and Vibhishna, they are 2 friends of the Lord. They also march with him. And Rama is saying that Lanka is a place where Ravana, the wicked one, resides, who carried away his beloved wife. And therefore, he is going to bring about destruction of the Rakshasas. So when the Vanaras take a look at the Rakshasas, they are roaring like wild lions. Rama is protected by Lakshmana and Vibhishna, and they spend the night in Mount Suvela. So now Valmiki has a particular writing style. During the Maricha pastime also, he put this one in there, that he will elaborate, he will say the sequence of events, and then he will elaborate it in the next chapter. This is very important for us to note, because one of the major arguments for Uttarakanda not being part of Valmiki Ramayana is that people say, "Oh, in the end of Yuddha Kanda, he has already completed it." But then Uttarakanda starts with it starts just after the coronation. So so that is not correct. It's not right. That's what they say. But that is not true, because Valmiki has already given us two other instances where he elaborates things um, on sequence of events that have already taken place in the previous chapters. This is the second instance. The first was Maricha's pastime. Not is just after Maricha is killed and Rama is coming back to the hermitage. That's when that particular thing that particular chapter is elaborated in the next chapter. So we know that the Lord. Okay, so let's go through the timelines a little bit. Lord Rama, when did he go off on exile? On what day? Rama goes to exile on the day after his 25th birthday. About 13 years later is when Sita Ma is kidnapped. 10 months later is when Hanuman sees Sita Ma. On Falgun Nakshatra, Purna Chandra, that means on the full moon day of, not Falgun Nakshatra, sorry, Falgun Masa, Purna Chandra, on full moon day is when Lord Rama, Lakshmana, and the entire Vanara army reach Lanka. This is elaborated on the 38th chapter of Yuddha Kanda. Tato astam agamat Surya Sandhyaya Prati Ranjitah Purna Chandra Pradipa Kshapa Samabhivartate. So whatever has been described in brief before is now given a fuller treatment. It was a full moon on Falgun Masa, and the battle began the next day. That is the first day of Krishna Paksha, or the dark fortnight. Then Indrajit is killed on Chaturdasi. Ravana goes on the next day on uh, yeah, on the dark fortnight, and this is what happens. On new moon day, Ravana goes out, and then he is killed after 7 days. He is killed. On Navami, the Lord is in Bharadwaj Muni's ashram. On Dashami, he comes back to Ayodhya. Does anyone remember what is Falgun Masa, full moon day? What is the celebration on Falgun Masa, Purnima day?
Holi?
Yeah, but there is another one. It's another very
Okay.
holy appearance.
Is it Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's
Yep.
appearance day?
Yep, it is. It is Gaura Purnima. Falgun Masa Purna Chandra. So it's on that day, on Gaur Purnima day, is when Lord Rama, Lakshmana, and everybody comes to Lanka. And then the next day is when this happens. Then the sun reddened with the evening twilight, and the night shining with full moon arrived. So now in the morning. By the way, this is the actual Mount Suvela. Mount Suvela still exists. This is the actual Mount Suvela in Sri Lanka at the moment. So imagine on this particular mountain, Lord Rama, Lakshmana, Vibhishana, and Sugriva were actually there. So they look at the opulent and beautiful kingdom. So it's quite obvious that the kingdom is no longer burnt to ashes. So after Hanuman destroyed everything, Ravana, through the magical means, he was able to get it back to its former glory. The monkeys, they walked about Lanka, and the wild beasts and birds trembled with fear. Everyone marvels the beauty of Lanka. So the crest of Mount Suvela is 2 yojanas in circumference. So that is 2 times 8. It's like 18 miles in circumference. And in the middle peak, Trikuta, Kuta means peak, Trikuta means 3 peaks, and in the middle peak, he sees Ravana himself. And seeing Ravana, Sugriva is beside himself with rage. And so he takes his mighty leap, he springs forward, he is angry with Ravana. You're not going to escape me. And I am Rama's friend Sugriva. And he taunts, Sugriva is taunted by Ravana. And grieve means neck. He says that you are going to be without any neck, and they fight. And then Ravana realizes that he's not going to be able to defeat Sugriva by fair means, and therefore he uses illusion and trickery. And then Sugriva thinks, okay, it's not proper for me to fight with Ravana right now. I'm just going to spring aloft, and he comes back to Rama. So now we are going to enter the next topic. This is obviously the biggest topic, because we are going to start the battle, and this is going to go on all the way till Vibhishana is coronated after the death of Ravana. So it's a very long topic, but I didn't want to just split it up. Nagpash is one, this is another, blah blah blah. I didn't want to just split it up. So when Sugriva comes and stands in front of Rama, he's very aghast. It's almost as if he's overwhelmed with shame, and he realizes that he overstepped his bounds, because his master, his beloved friend Rama, said that he is the one who wants to destroy Ravana, whereas Sugriva just jumped all over that. And Sugriva had restrained because he hadn't wanted Rama's words to be falsified. And now on Sugriva's body are marks of the battle with Ravana. Rama is very happy to see that Sugriva is safe and sound, and Rama rebukes him. How could he take that step without consulting me? How could he do that? If you suffer any harm, what hope can I have for Sita, Bharata, Lakshmana, Shatrughna, or even myself? Idanim ma krita veer evam vidham arindama tvai kinchit sam apanne kim karyam Sitaya mama Bharatena Mahabaho Lakshmanena Yaviyasa Shatrugnena Shatrughna Swasharirena Vapunaha. What can we hope for? And that's what he says. Then Sugriva says, Rama, I don't know how to explain things to you. I saw that deceitful, lusty Ravana who carried away my beloved mother, your beloved Sita, and I couldn't resist. I just couldn't resist. tam evam vadinam Ramam Sugriva pratyabhashata tava bharyapahartaram, the one who kidnapped your bharya, your beloved wife, Drishtva Raghava Ravanam, and I saw Raghava, oh Raghava, I saw this Ravana, Marshayami Katham Veera Janan Vikraman Atmanaha. I just had to be, I was just so angry. So it says, I am your slave. I will no longer be this foolish. Please forgive me. Then Rama says, Lakshmana, just go ahead and set up camp at the base of Suvela. So the very fact that the fight between Sugriva and Ravana took place was before the battle formation. It was way before that. So we have to just remember that this is one of the styles of writing that Valmiki has. But I did not give it in the chronological order. I gave it according to the chapter. Whatever Valmiki has said, there is a reason, there is a purpose to why he has said it the way he has. So I'm just going with that. So now, very auspicious hour. It's in the morning. Rama, bow is in hand, and he's leading the monkeys towards Lanka, towards the battleground. Vibhishna, Sugriva, Hanuman, Jambavan, Nal, Dhumra, Neel, Lakshmana, everyone else is following him. The monkeys have already taken their places, and they have laid siege on Lanka. Rama and Lakshmana are in front of the northern gate. Mainda and Dvivida are helping Neela in the western gate against Prahasta. Angada is against Mahaparsh and Mahodar in the south, but Rishabha, Gavaksh, Gaja, and Gavai are helping Angada. Prahasa is helping Hanuman against Indrajit in the western gate. And because Rama wanted Sugriva, Vibhishna, and Jambavan to be in between Rama and Hanuman, Sugriva and 36 crores of great warriors are between northern and western gate to support Rama and Hanuman. Because it's quite likely that the efforts are concentrated in northern and western gates, because Ravana and Indrajit are obviously two of the most powerful Rakshasas in here. So now with Naka Dantha Yudam, with nails and teeth as weapons, the monkeys carry large trees and boulders. So nails and teeth, obviously you need them for close combat, but to throw things on the other, to throw things on Rakshasas, they used trees, boulders, mountain peaks, etc. So they were like tittidal, like locusts, and they had swarmed the entire Lanka. So many people have asked me, Lanka is one tiny little island. You said that more than 10 to the power of 67 Vanaras were there. And you said that all the Vanaras were as huge as mountains, and all the Rakshasas were also as huge as mountains. So how did one tiny little island manage to fit all of them? Because we are thinking of an island as far as only the land space is concerned. What about land area is concerned? What about the space? So what has Valmiki said? Valmiki has said that the earth, the sky, the slopes of the mountains, every place was filled with monkeys. Every place. Even the sky. Even the sky. So it's not limited to the land area, because they are fighting in space. They're fighting over there as well, fighting in the sky. So now Rama has already arranged all the forces. They're all dharmic. Everything is arranged according to the war ethics. And he sends Angada. to inform Ravana that he's going to lay siege, because Rama will never attack someone without them knowing that he's attacking them. Rama will never do it. He will never fight, and if an enemy runs away, he will never fight that enemy. And he will never take an enemy unawares. He will never do that. So even with Tataka, she was invisible at that time. He first wakes her up with the twang of his bow, and then she rushes towards him, and then he shoots the arrows. So Rama is very principled. So because he's going to start the attack, he's giving the warning. He's sending Angada to Ravana and is saying, you have lost all your power, you are going to die, and all the pride that you have acquired due to the boons is going to end. You have you have just one option, and that is to restore Sita to Rama. And if you don't do that, I'm going to punish you. I will forgive all your sins if you come and take my shelter, or my arrows will rid the world of the Rakshasa race. So even on the day of the battle, Rama was willing to give shelter to Ravana. Even on the day of the battle, Angada swiftly jumps through the sky, and he lands in the palace of Ravana, who was talking to his ministers. And Angada says, this is what Rama has mentioned. He doesn't add anything, he doesn't subtract anything. So this is the job of an ambassador. The job of a guru, who are the ambassadors of the Lord, should also behave in the same way. They cannot add anything and they cannot subtract anything from what the Lord has said. Of course, it's not as if they're going to give all the information at one go and overwhelm the disciple. Obviously, that is also not a smart thing to do. They will give things based on what the student's capacity is. So for a 3-year-old child, they would just say, chant the name of the Lord. They're not going to give deep philosophical imports from Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam or something like that. So based on the level of the child, based on level of the student, they will give the information. But ultimately, the Lord's information is not modified in any way. That is the whole point. Ravana is very angry, and then he says, 4 Rakshasas, all of you just go ahead and destroy Angada. So with 2 Rakshasas on each arm, Angada springs lightly. He shakes them off in the air, and they fall and they die at the feet of Ravana. Then he kicks out the tower of Ravana's palace. He demolishes everything, and then he roars out that I am Angada, and he rushes back to Lord Rama. Everyone is happy on the Vanara's side. Everyone is sad on the Rakshasa's end. And Ravana is furious. So over here, by the way, neither Angada nor Hanuman sit on a seat made of their coiled tail. That doesn't happen. It is a very common thing for us to see. There are many pictures and all that. Neither one of them did that. In non-bona fide versions of scriptures, it is mentioned that Angada challenged Ravana's warriors to lift his leg, and nobody could do that. That is also not mentioned in any of the bona fide scriptures. So Angada was not sent there as a Shanti Dut or a messenger of peace. Angada went to Ravana to give him one final chance, return Sita or prepare for battle. We are all here ready, prepare for battle. So Angada doesn't give him any time at all. He doesn't say that I'm going to, next morning we are going to start the battle or anything like that. So the Lord had already surrounded the city, he'd already done that. And Angada just goes ahead and says, we are going to start the battle. And that's it. They begin fighting with the intent to slay Ravana. Sushena and the other monkeys go on the fortress gates and encompass Lanka. Rakshasas are mad with fear. They run to Ravana and inform that his kingdom has already been sieged. When Rama sees Lanka, he is lamenting that Sita is suffering for his sake. Why is this important? Because Rama is also well aware of Mother Sita's extraordinary power. He is quite well aware of her power, and yet he is he knows that Mother Sita has not destroyed Lanka and Ravana and the others because of her extreme bhakti to Lord Rama. So he's saying that Sita is suffering just for my sake, is because she wants the glory of killing Ravana and rescuing her to go to him, to go to Rama, that Sita Ma is suffering right now. And he thinks that. So even amidst the battlefield, Lord Rama doesn't lose his love for Sita Ma. He doesn't forget about her. He continues to think about her. Then then the Vanaras are armed with rocks, boulders, and all four gates are attacked simultaneously. They destroy the walls, groves, gateways. They roar the glory of Rama, Lakshmana, Sugriva. Ravana is very angry. He says, okay, Rakshasas, all of us, let's go and fight. Rakshasas rejoice. The martial music is shaking the entire universe. The monkeys kill Rakshasas with nails and teeth, trees and stones. The Rakshasas kill monkeys with swords, tridents, and sticks. Everywhere people are dying, rivers of blood is just pouring out. Rivers of blood. So this is, I believe, the 43rd chapter. On Rama's side, Angada is fighting Indrajit, and Angada just destroys Indrajit's paraphernalia. Sampati is this is actually a Vanara. So we saw the bird Sampati. We know that there is a Sampati. Vibhishna's counselor is Sampati. This is actually a Vanara Sampati, and he kills Prajanga. Hanuman destroys Jambumali. This is another Jambumali. This is not the Jambumali that Hanuman killed in Ashok Vatika. This is another Jambumali. Vibhishna was fighting Mitragna. Gaja was fighting Tapana. Neela was fighting Nikumba, and Neela kills Nikumba's driver. Sugriva was fighting Pragasa. Sugriva kills Pragasa. Lakshmana was fighting Virupaksha. Virupaksha doesn't die right now. Rama kills Agniketu, Rashmiketu, Suptagna, and Yagna Kopa. He kills all of them. Mainda kills Vajramushti. Dvivida kills Ashani Prabha. Nala kills Nala is confronting Pratapana. Sushena kills Vidyunmali. Okay, battle is dreadful. During sunset, also the battle continues. So we know that the battle started on Prathami, Pratipat. So the day after full moon day is when the battle started. The battle ended on Sashti. So it took place for nearly 21 days and nights together. So it's for almost 3 weeks, days and nights both together. Not even a single moment of respite. And they fought and fought and fought and fought and fought. And now we might think, how did the Vanaras have the energy to fight at night? This is because Rama was empowering them, and Rama gave them that strength. The Rakshasas have the energy to fight because they are Nishacharas, they are nocturnal beings. So, therefore, they have the energy to fight. So, they are more alert at night than they are in the morning. So, even now, people who are awake at night and they sleep during the day, and they are awake at night, they go to like nightclubs and they're very active at night.
They're all great practices. They're important.
Just as plain simple as that. So the Rakshasas, nothing was visible in the darkness. The Rakshasas tear the monkeys tear the Rakshasas. Rakshaso asi iti harayo harisha cha asi iti rakshasa anyonyam samare jangus tasme darune. So they didn't know, who are you? Are you Rakshasa or are you a Vanara? Are you a Vanara or are you a Rakshasa? Asking this, and they go ahead and kill each other. Then Rakshasas hide the view from Rama's flaming arrows. So in the dark night, Rama's arrows are the ones that are providing the light. Yama Shatru, Mahaparshva, Mahodar, Vajra, Damshtra, Mahakai, Shuk, and Sarana, all of them escape. And Angada causes Indrajit to flee. So we just saw that Angada destroys Indrajit's paraphernalia, and then he's causing Indrajit to flee. The Nag Pasha pastime, I want to complete it today, but what do you all think? Do you want me to do this tomorrow or shall we do this today? Do we have the energy to finish it off today? Today. Mangalam Koslendraya, Mahaniya Gunabde, Chakravarti Tanajaya, Sarva Bhaumaya Mangalam. Jai Sitaram. We'll see you all tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Sitaram.
Hare Krishna, Jai Sitaram.
Jai Sitaram.